Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview, this time covering VCT Americas Stage 2 for Week 3. My guest at this time is valyn of G2 Esports, this time coming off of their match against Evil Geniuses in which they emerged as the victorious team, winning 2-1 in the season now, going forward with a 2-1 record overall so far in the regular season of said competition. So, valyn, thank you so much for the opportunity. One more interview for this season so far, and congrats on the W. It was a good way to bounce back from the previous week and doing so against a pretty good team against Evil Geniuses. Obviously, they presented their own challenges. So first and foremost, how was the match? How did you view it from your point of view, and how are you feeling?
The match was a bit of a vibe, I would say. Like ever since we brought in BABYBAY, we've just been much happier on stage in a weird sense. Like we're locked in, we're focused, but I hear us being more like jokey, we're having fun, and it's almost like a blessing being able to play the game without so much stress. Uh, I would say it is an advantage as well. So just kind of seizing that opportunity to play with Andre, he's been a phenomenal like outside of the game person and inside. But yeah, I mean, to recap the game, like map one was a bit disappointing. We felt like our corrode, we had lots of strong practice on it throughout the week. We thought that we had strong rolls on it, and we just lost it on defense. We ended up making a good comeback though, so it gave us momentum into like the map two, map three, and from there it was just a wipe. Like I don't know, like without disrespect, I don't know why the map veto the way it did today. I was not expecting them to pick Haven. I wasn't expecting them to give us Ascent. Um, and just to add on to that a little bit, I assume that they wanted to play the maps that they could watch our film on. Um, because we have like an X factor of BABYBAY, maybe they just felt more comfortable with those picks, but those are literally like our top maps. So I think it was a bit of a mistake and it showed on the scoreline too.
I think one can be fair to say that, like, with the inclusion of Baby Bay, maybe, the level of this G2 team might have been much more lower compared to the usual level you guys have shown so far this season. Could be a reason, but obviously, we'll understand what they say later on down the line. But yeah, like, you kind of gave out a decent outline from how the series went from your point of view, and yeah, just kind of like going into just sort of the map beetle, because like you kind of mentioned it, that first and foremost, it's fair to say that you guys were surprised when they went for the Haven, and on top of that, letting Ascent and just having to possibly deal with the issues of like the plan not going their way and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you basically just kind of recapped like how it went mentally for me when for the veto process. I mean, sometimes you get good veto, sometimes you don't. Today was very lucky for us to have our top 3 maps in our point of view. So, yeah, I mean, w we could have closed that 2-0. We felt like we should have, but even then, like, we knew we had it in the bag for map 3, so, they probably felt confident too. To be fair, they're a smart team. Everyone knows what they're doing to a certain point, but, yeah, I would just say we kinda won early because of that.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned a little bit also on to what happened in Corrode. I mean, Corrode for you guys is still a work in progress. You guys have been able to make it count, in which you're using this kind of stage for having plenty of opportunities to play in this kind of map, in which so far, not really everybody has gotten a firm idea as to what's the main a way to play it. And so, how did you view your team's handling and kind of management of this map so far? Do you feel like now at this point you guys have a good idea as to what are the kind of challenges that this map shows to you guys?
Definitely. I mean, week 1 versus Sentinels was a bit wash for us because, like, unironically had 1 scrim of Corrode before we ended up playing it versus them. So that's why we looked so bad in that week 1 game versus Sen. And then this game, I mean, we had a strong start and then it kind of like went their way. We were giving Ye a lot. I mean, me personally, I was giving Ye a lot of like early engagements on attack. It was kind of my fault on in that moment. And then defense just slipped, man. We had a good game plan. We even understood what they were trying to do. We were recapping the round so well live in the moment and we knew what to expect, but they still were ended up killing us. So I would say when I see that type of thing, it just comes down to like form, maybe being sharp, maybe just one kill goes your way and the tides change, but it wasn't. It was all going their way. So that's why our defense looks shaky. But nevertheless, it was an 11-13 loss, so much better than week one. I think this is going to be another week where we can learn from our mistakes on this map. It is new. That's why we're testing the waters and have it really strong by playoffs and champs time.
And so far, the the team has been playing relatively well so far in this season. 2-1 overall in with their record so far in the regular season. I know I did say like you guys had like a rough stretch last week, but you guys beat 2G, so kind of a little bit of a correction on my part. And so thus far, facing off against Sentinels, facing off against 2G, now this week facing off against EG 2-1. How do you view the team's overall performance level, form, and um, know-how of this game right now so far this season?
Yeah. So I think today was a big test for us in terms of where we're at with BABYBAY. Are we still considered a top team? Are we middle of the pack? Like this EG game was big for us because, yeah, we lost to Sen in a really close game. Um, I don't think they performed their best. I think they could have played better. So it was like, how good are we? Are we still top one? Are we number two? We dominate 2G, who looked pretty decent versus Evil Geniuses, honestly. And then so now, like, big EG game, they needed this for like playoffs. They could still make it, but this was a huge game to determine this group, honestly. And so I know they were coming in with everything. Ended up taking 2 clean map wins. So in my head, I feel like we're still there. We're still like top of the pack of Americas. And I know once we get Leaf back and integrated fully, I think we're still number 1, man.
Yeah, I was about to say about like the where would you put G2 in your personal power rankings, like top one, top two, middle table, top four, something like that. You fair to say top one, firm, no doubts on that.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think with our current lineup, although Andre's amazing, I'm not trying to downplay him at all. It's just it takes time to fully synergize a player. I think I'm safe to say top 2. I don't know if we're better than Sentinels right now with our current lineup. But I know once we got full strong G2, we clear Sen for sure.
For sure. I had an interview with Jonah earlier on in stage two, and he mentioned about how, with the inclusion of BABYBAY, he's kind of like the vibes guy, the as he put it, a better Zelsis, in that regard. And so, like, in one way, it's kind of interesting to look at because, like, in the previous version with the one with Leaf, it'd be kind of hard to see like someone as like the 100% vibes guy, one bringing in the energy to you guys at times of need and stuff like that. Obviously, some occasions that kind of affected you in stage one playoffs and so on and so forth. But with do you feel like it's kind of as such with BABYBAY as the vibes guy? Do you feel like it's something that with his inclusion, it's something that the team has been kind of been able to fill in, as in the void in that regard?
Yeah, so my learning process bringing in Andre is I've always been trying to be like that cool, calm, collected IGL, someone who doesn't get too rowdy and doesn't get too down, trying to be a level-headed guy. And I thought that was the best way to play. I thought being calm, not over celebrating, not hyping up too hard was good. Bringing him in, he taught me something about that, and it shows when you can bring the vibes, bring the energy, even when you're down. You can always make a comeback, and it's not so much about just yourself, it's about the teammates around you. Some of my guys like the hype, they like the energy. Personally, I like calm,
Mm,
but I wanna make them perform the best too. So he taught me to try to be someone that can bring that energy for the guys. So like you'll hear me, just doing random stuff in middle of the game. Like I seen they put it on replay. I'm just doing random shit to kind of get them laughing, keeping the vibes light, but also gassing my boys up. I feel like I wasn't gassing my boys up enough, even on small plays. Good flash, nice 2K, whatever it is, just to get the confidence rolling. I would always just be like, "Nice round, boys," and then insta call. But now I'm kinda soaking that in from Andre till I get my boys involved a little bit, hype them up. Um, and, when he's gone, when we bring back Leaf, someone's gonna need to fill that. And I think I'm ready to kinda take that task on, and I think everyone around us, everyone around me, my teammates, they understand the value now of being a vibes team. So we're gonna try to bring that in, regardless if BABYBAY's in or not, because we realize how important it is. But right now, he's carrying that department.
One word that comes to mind for me when as you were kind of explaining your thought process of adopting that kind of lightheartedness to your individual play is sort of like compromise. And you kind of had to reach a compromise for yourself to like balance out the seriousness side of your IGLing and also like the lighthearted side, the fun side of yourself. Is it kind of like that for you?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's you kind of hit it right on the coffin. Like it's for me, it's just been learning about how can I keep my seriousness and rally them together to lock in, but also if we have a good round, a goofy round, whatever, to give 5 seconds of just to enjoy it. I will say towards the end of Ascent, everyone was enjoying it. BABYBAY's yelling
Mhm.
at Superman. I don't know if they caught it on replay, but like he's going too much, and I was like, guys, can we please just tone it down a little bit? Like I'm struggling to focus right now. But for them, they love the rowdy like yelling and all that. But and I do, I do too. To be fair, you see
It,
me
it,
stand up sometimes,
yeah, I was
but
about to
like
say like you kind of stand up right there.
I need quick resets, and sometimes we're like talking about goofy shit for like 20 seconds, and I'm like, boys, lock in, like let's go, talk about the round, and so yeah, it kind of depends at the state of the game too. Like if it's really back and forth, I like the hype, like feeding off the energy. If we're up a lot, like towards that Ascent, we're up like 11-4, dude. I just want to close the game, be clean. Leads scare me sometimes when people get overhyped and overconfident because I'm like, dude, are you guys still locked in? Like you're messing around for 20 seconds. So, but I trust them and I know that they still are trying to close the game. But in my head, I'm like, boys, let's not choke this lead. Let's not be too funny here. You know?
Yeah, the words of a consummate professional, one that just wants to get the job done and just
Yeah.
deal with all that stuff. But it's still a work in progress for you to find that golden ratio for yourself, and just trying to be a much better version of an IGO for yourself, Valyn. So I really do appreciate the insight on that, and I really do appreciate the interview you've given me once again for another occasion. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for the answers, and all of that good stuff. And of course, best of luck goes to yourself for the rest of the journey.
Thank you, Pedro. I appreciate it. We always have a great chat. Thanks.